Well, good morning, everyone. It's Monday, February 20th, 2023. And what a great month it's been. It's actually a national holiday here in the United States today, President's Day, where we celebrate all our presidents from way back in #1, George Washington. But what a great day. It's Mentor Monday. This is my favorite time of the way to start my week off. I've been up since early this morning, but excited today to join all of you from around the world. And I see some folks from here from Africa, from the United Kingdom, all over the world. And we're going to have a great, quick Mentor Monday today. Quick story of mine. Back in 2015, when I was a good friend of mine in San Diego, Monica called me up, said, "Mike, I've got something I need to share with you." And she shared with me the For Life story and the wonderful things that we do at For Life. I enrolled that day and got my associate position. And every Saturday morning back then, it was conference calls. We had conference calls. And Monica had a team. We're on her team and on a lot of the Colorado team. Every Saturday morning, 9 a.m., we'd dial up on this conference call, and Dave, and sometimes Gabby, and back then, Dave, is even your brother, would join us. I remember well. You'd join us, and that first May, June, and July, while I was starting to understand, get my feet wet, understanding For Life, understanding our family and our team. I didn't know then I was on the #1 team in the world. But the process, understanding the process, you were so great, Dave, back then, in those first months I was involved on Saturday morning conference calls and understanding the process. And that's what our story is today, understanding the process. I'd like to welcome Dave and his wife, Gabriella. Dave is, I always listen to Dave. Dave, every single Monday, every time I'm talking to Dave, he's got something great to share. His stories are some of the best in the world, best stories in the world. Dave, good morning to you. How are you, sir?
Good morning, J. Michael. Great sunny Monday here in San Diego.
Welcome. Take it over, Dave.
Thank you. Thank you. So I say sunny Monday because this weather's been crazy. It's been raining off and on here in San Diego. We need the water, of course. We've had a drought for many years. So, but I do live here in San Diego. Love it. Live in our dream home that we built back in 2006. That was the year I actually, Gabby and I became platinums with For Life after 8 years of going through, as J. Michael just said, the process of building this business. And that's what I want to talk about today, is this whole process. And hopefully it will motivate you, inspire you to continue moving through the process. That's the only way you ever get to any goal or destination, is by embracing the process. If you're traveling in a car and you want to go somewhere, well, the process is you got to put gas in your car, keep the fuel going. Otherwise, you run out of gas. Guess what? You're not going to get there. Same way here. So I look at these Mentor Mondays and a lot of the training calls that we do as fuel, as gas, to keep you going another day. Just keep building, keep growing, keep working on yourself. And that's what this is all about. And I get frustrated. And I have to say that to me, this is probably one of the most difficult topics, because I've been doing this for 25 years, For Life. I mean, think about it. If all of you go back to 1998, what were you doing in 1998, 25 years ago? Well, I was doing For Life. And so I'm still going through the process. Now, granted, a lot has changed. I've grown as an entrepreneur, a networker. I've learned a lot. I've had challenges. I've grown through the challenges. Give me an example. Today, Anderson's with us here. We've been working on the challenge this morning. He just sent me a message. That's why I've been looking at my phone. Today's the last day for loyalty. Get your loyalty orders in. Well, the office in Brazil is closed because it's Carnival. Y'all heard of Carnival? Carnival? That's what's going on down in Brazil right now. So the office is closed. Well, it's the 20th. Well, they're trying to get their orders in and they can't. So yeah, there's days that are, but you find solutions. We found a solution. I just got a message from corporate Utah saying that if, as long as they get their order in online, they'll honor it, even though the office is closed. Things are done a little bit different down in Brazil. Not everybody has credit cards. So you always find a solution. All right. And that's what I think is the biggest challenge for most people, is that if they don't feel they can find an immediate solution to something, they quit. They throw in the towel. They give up. Why? Why? Life is about building. It's about growing. It's about developing. And I get frustrated because I see people that they get excited and then they quickly lose gas or fuel, and then they quit, and then they go back to the same thing they were doing before, and then they wonder why, life is the same and they're not getting anywhere. They're not making any more money. They're frustrated. Look, everybody has a beginning in this process. Everybody. Some of you recently, like Trisha. I think it was back in November, Trisha signed up. J. Michael, you have your beginning back when Monica spoke to you. Coolwinder, you have your beginning back when Claudia introduces to you in Canada. Every one of you, every one of us, including me and Gabby, we have a beginning where we began this process. All right. So this is an open forum, by the way. So I enjoy questions and comments and feedback. That's another way that you learn and grow, is by asking questions. If anything, one person asked me, recently, Dave, what's been the most difficult thing for you? Well, for me, I have to say that I'm an emotional person. So it's been keeping my emotions, because in this business, this process of developing, everything's magnified a bit. Highs are higher, lows are lower. It's emotional because you're building relationships, you're working with people. So it's not just your emotion, but theirs. For example, what happened today, with Brazil, I got a video from one of my distributors, Nusi. She's driving in her car showing all the stores open, saying, why is 4Life closed when all the stores are open today? Just because it's carnival, So her emotion of being frustrated because she can't get the loyalty orders in for her people rubs off on me, and it gets me frustrated. And then I call Trevor, who's the vice president of Brazil, and I share my frustration with him, and we're trying to get to the top to get a solution. And I'm like, sometimes I got to go through the chain of command, but I don't want to. Just get me Danny Lee so we can get this thing solved right now and we can move on. But there's a process that, there's a protocol to pretty much everything we do. And so we have to embrace that process. All right. Again, this is open forum. So if anybody has any questions, comments as we move along, please feel free. So today I want to talk about a couple of things. There's the physical process, picking up the phone, calling someone, all right, being someplace where you're at a meeting, an event, getting on Zoom, you physically log in. So there's the physical part of this that we all, do to get us here. And we're doing it. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here with me right now. You're on this Zoom physically. I can see you. But then there's the mental side of this. And I think, again, in this process of becoming successful, and by the way, success really it's your own definition, whatever it may be. If it's a new car, great. And you're successful when that happens. So whatever your definition of success, we're here to help you achieve that. But the mental side of this, all right, the psychological side of it, I think is the most difficult side. And that's because of something called influence. It's an influential game that we play. Us trying to be more influential over the people out there that are still trying to find something in their life to make things a bit better financially. And that's usually what it comes down to, honestly. Most people get involved in network marketing because they want to better their financial situation. There are some that do get involved because they fall in love with the product and they just like being involved in a community. I have people that go to convention. They've been going to convention since we began 4Life. They're at every convention. you know. They just enjoy being part of something positive, something good. And that's what we have here. But this mental side of it, there's a struggle of influence. You talk to someone, well, if their negative influence overpowers your positive influence, maybe you got enough gas in your tank to keep you going down the road to talk to someone else. But if their negative influence overcomes your positive influence, pretty soon they start beating you down and you run out of gas. And you're like, you know what? I'm not going to do this anymore. I've talked to 10 people, all 10 of them were negative. And by the way, this just happened with a lady that we've been working on with one of my Ecuador distributors, Gloria. We had a lady in Mexico. She has a master's degree. She's in administration, and she invested in some other network marketing company, bought a bunch of product. It was fraud, apparently. She bought it, has all in her office. Company closed down, they're gone. So she's been taken advantage of. Well, that negative experience is still in her system. And so that's what she thinks about. So she relates anything else with networking to that negative experience. So we have to try to influence her that she can trust us, she can believe in us. 25 years, I've been doing this, not going anywhere, going to keep on going. And I just left a message with her last week on Thursday. And I said, look, it's a real nice message. I did it in WhatsApp. I said, look, we care about you. We've been talking now for a couple of weeks, and you're a wonderful person. You're important. And just want you to know that we're just going to continue down this road of success. And you're welcome. If you want to come along, we'll build with you. And if you don't want to, understand, maybe the timing's not right. Maybe you still have some emotional pain from what happened, but understand something. Never base tomorrow's successes on yesterday's failures. Just because something happened in the past, that doesn't define the future. So, do what you need to do to get beyond it, get over it, and let's get to being successful now. And I left her that message. And she messaged me back, saying thank you. And she really does want to do this. So again, there's this influential struggle always going on in the process. Okay. Embrace that. Don't get hung up on it. It is what it is. And it's never going to change, by the way. That's the world we live in. There's always going to be negative influence, positive influence. It's just, there's oppositions in all things. All right. Up has down, right has left, black has white. There's an opposition everywhere. So embrace that part of the process. And as Dr. Ogina says, I was thinking back of this goes a ways back. You were talking about mental toughness. And that's what differentiates someone who gets to the top of the mountain, because they've got the mental toughness to do it. They weathered the storms on the way up the mountain, the lightning, the hail, the ice cubes falling out of the sky. They went through all of that to get to the top. And it's not just that way in networking, you guys. It's that way in any industry. You talk to anybody that has become very successful. They went through a process to get there. All right. So let's talk a little bit about our process in this industry and why I love this process. Well, one of the things I would hear in the 80s when I was getting started in my networking career was that people would say that this business is disguised as the best personal development course there is. And it really is. And we don't think about it much, because as people get signed up and they start beginning this process, all right, as long as they hang in there and they get their way up, they become, a builder, they get 3 people signed up, they become a diamond, they become presidential diamond, they go on a trip. They're just working hard going through the process. They don't see the changes happening to them. Okay. I do as an upline, as I work with people. Even Cloudy is a good example. Cloudy is just so much different today than when she began For Life. As a networker, an entrepreneur, a relationship developer, she's identified her strengths, her weaknesses. We talked about follow-up. That was one of the things we talked about a lot in the past. You got to follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up. She identified that as a weakness. She works on that now, making sure she follows up with the people that she spoke to, whether it's a week ago, a month ago. So she's embracing the process. I see these changes. I've seen it with my platinums, all right, from Herminio Nervares. In fact, I've got a picture. It's in my WhatsApp. I need to get that so I can show it on the screen here, of me presenting to Herminio. And you can see on his face, he's just listening as I'm doing the presentation. Well, today Herminio commands, that's a bad word. He influences, hundreds of thousands of people, constantly on his Zooms, on WhatsApp and whatnot. Okay. So he's gone through these tremendous developmental changes, this growth. So I see that with all the platinums that I've worked with and golds and so forth. All right. So my point is this: you don't necessarily see these changes until maybe years down the road. You're like, you know what? I was once a introvert. Now all of a sudden I've learned how to put on my extrovert For Life uniform when it's time to work, time to do the business. Anderson's a good example. Who's with us. He's our Brazilian friend, who's getting on the English calls. He does a Spanish call. He wants to learn. He's just, constantly involved, engaged in going through this process of building his business. Now, Anderson's story is in Anderson, correct me if I'm wrong, but Anderson recently brought in a really good networker. All right. She's from another company, and the company closed in Brazil. So Anderson happened to have a good contact who knew her, which is her boyfriend, Nelmar. So Anderson's friends with the boyfriend. Anderson basically convinced the boyfriend, look, let's talk to her. Let's get her to listen to us. Well, she probably, I would say that she's in between. She'd be like a silver in For Life if you were to equate ranks. On her way to gold, she'd be a silver with the company she was with. So Anderson, here he is now 3 years with For Life. I honestly believe that had Anderson talked to her his first few months in For Life, it would be a different result than today after 3 years. He brings the experience to the table. He brings his knowledge to the table. He brings his past experiences, all right, with what he's been through for 3 years to the table. All of that has led up to now, this point in time with this networker and this person. And he got her. She's in. And not only is she in, but she's very active. So that's keeping Anderson busy. So Anderson now all of a sudden has really stepped up, all right, to another level in his process of becoming platinum or achieving his level of success. Anderson, am I correct in saying that? Go ahead and unmute.
Yes, of course. I cannot speak English very well, but I understood what do you say. And yes, this is the truth. And I am animated to work hard with now, and I want to work hard and make a good job with Mara. Thank you for your great help always, Dave. We love.
Absolutely. Well, that's all part of teamwork, but see, Anderson, okay, understand again, we're talking about the process today. When Anderson got started, all right, he went through doubts. He went through struggles. He went through a lot of negativity. A lot of people saying no, not believing, and then getting someone signed up and they quit. All right. And then you sign up another one, they get started and they quit. And then you get another one. But now Anderson has got a couple of really good legs going. He's got one really good leg that takes off up to some doctors up in Salvador, Brazil. He's got the other leg now, the Jeunesse leg that started, the new one that's going. So Anderson's very, very busy working his legs, right? Working his downline. So again, in this process, there's a lot of things that we learn. Number one, we learn to start talking to people, to bring people to the table, to present to people. All right. You've got to learn the presentation, present the plan, present the plan, present the plan. All right. When I present the plan to people, I'm focusing on bringing to them an option that I feel can better their life, an option that I feel they can learn, all right, to achieve their financial dreams for them and their family. And so when I'm talking to someone, yes, I do talk about health and wellness and transfer factor and so forth, but it's a concept that I want them to understand. You join the For Life family, you invest in yourself every month, your 100 life points, all right? So now you're going to get benefit of using the product, and that's really your business, is that you're using the product, you're qualifying, all right? Then you bring other people in and have them embrace this concept as well of investing in yourself, be part of the For Life family. You want to, keep yourself, your health, your wellness, prevent disease, whatever you want to say. That's all part of what we do. That's your monthly investment. It's not in rent, overhead expenses, inventory, employees, none of that stuff. That's all taken care of. So the concept is you're investing in yourself and you're inviting other people to do that as well. What a great concept. And at the same time, you can make a fortune by bringing people into this concept. So I try to kind of avoid a bit of thinking, well, I got to go become a salesman and sell bottles of transfer factor. No, you don't. You just join the family, invest in yourself, all right, and get others to do the same. Now, what level of contribution they bring to the family, everyone is different. Some, they may become a customer. Maybe they're a one-time customer and that's it. They made a minor contribution, to making a purchase, but some may become huge contributors where they become, presidentials and then bronzes and silvers and golds and so forth. Well, those are the ones you spend your lifetime supporting and focusing on and doing everything you can to help them. That's all part of the process. All right. So the first thing is you're presenting the plan, talking to people. All right. Next, this is the physical part of it. All right. You now start talking to your people's people, picking up the phone, developing relationships with people on your third level, your fourth level, and so on. Many of you, J. Michael, you're not on my front line, and yet we're out in Tyler, Texas, having dinner together. All right. Claudia, you're not on my front line. I didn't sponsor you, and you and I talk regularly. Anderson, you and I talk regularly. In fact, I don't think there's anybody here on this call that I sponsored. And yet I've spent my time working with a lot of you, from Trisha in Kenya, to Anderson regularly, Claudia, many of you, Beverly, same thing. Beverly in South Africa. I didn't sponsor Bev. All right. So here's my point. The physical part of this is work in the downline, work in the downline, work in the downline. You're going to find that many more, in my case, more often than not, the leadership ends up becoming someone that someone else in your business introduced you to. So again, the physical part of this is work the downline. The psychological part of it is you're developing new relationship with those people. So you now are going to go through the same emotions that they're going through, just like with Anderson today, with Brazil and the loyalty problem that they had down there. He was frustrated, called me. I got frustrated. I called Trevor, share my frustration with Trevor. Trevor got a hold of whoever above. They come back with a solution. Now, Anderson, he could have easily said to his people, because Anderson said he probably has like 1,000 life points right now in loyalty orders they need to get put in. Anderson could have just said, you know what, don't want to deal with it. All right. People, they're frustrated. They can't get their loyalty in. And it just got as far as Anderson, and that's it. No, Anderson reaches out to me and he passes the challenge on to me. All right. Well, I passed the challenge on to Trevor, the vice president of Brazil. Trevor went to the powers that be, whoever they were. That's part of the process. That's the emotional. Well, there's both the physical part of it. Obviously, I had to pick up the phone, I had to get hold of Trevor. So, and we're doing all this right before this call right now, by the way. So we got WhatsApp messages going on, but there is an emotional side to this. All right. Because they're frustrated. That's all part of the process, you guys. All right. It is what it is. So now, as you're talking to people, as you're working with your downline, right, you start identifying as your business grows, as you start getting more people, where are you going to spend your time, your energy, all right? Sometimes you're dealing with grassroots people that are just they've never networked before. And I would consider, like even Anderson, Claudia comes from a different background. She was with Avon, so she understands direct sales and so forth. I think Tricia, you were involved in networking a little bit before, but people come from all walks of life. All right. Many times you find yourself working with grassroots people that are just getting started, learning this process of networking, this concept of networking, building a network, building a team of people. But every now and then, someone comes to the table, like the lady in Brazil, who already has a network of people. Now, those people, you really got to put on, that's like, I don't know how it is. We'll say the World Cup. Y'all know the World Cup. I guarantee you that level of soccer or football in the World Cup is different level of playing than the level that they do every day in the leagues that they're in when they're playing every week. Okay. You got to step it up, bring your A game. Every now and then that happens. You get yourself someone that's like, you know what? This person's an influencer. They got a network, or maybe they've been with another company. That company's not doing so well now. They're looking for a home. Man, you got to step it up. Your A game, get polished, get ready to go. And so I still feel that emotion. All right. Whenever somebody calls me and says, Dave, we got this person that was in this company, they're big fish, whatever. I psychologically get ready for that. I enjoy it. I like it. And I'm thinking, okay, Dave, here after 25 years, I'm still doing this. Step it up. Get ready. All right. And I put everything that I can into that presentation. So I'm thinking, as I talk to this person, I'm strategizing as I'm talking to this person. What can I say to influence them? What can I say to get them? I look at it kind of like a game. It to me, and when I say a game, I mean, I take it seriously. It's a serious game, but it's a game for me of like chess. They make a move, I make a move. They make a move, I make a move. All right. And at the end of the day, I want to win the game, which means I've got them ready to go. They're going to sign up. And if I lose the game and I lose them, whether they go somewhere else or they decide not to get involved, I got to admit, I get frustrated, even after 25 years. And I start analyzing. Even Gabby says to me, stop overthinking things, Dave, because I'm an overthinker. But that's who I am. I want to, like if I'm doing a meeting with Mercy or Jedida or Trish or any one of you, all right, with one of your people, I put everything I have into it. All right. That's me going through the process. All right. That's me helping my people get to the next level. And that's what we all want to do. All right. Now, I hope I'm not making this sound too difficult because it is really simple. Right. At the end of the day, it is a simple process. All right. Of making a decision. You've signed up with the For Life family. Now you're going to start talking to people, sharing with people. And if you're fearful of that, if you're scared of that, that's part of your process. You've got to overcome that. All right. Now, that's one thing that an upline can't do for you. They can't force you to overcome fear. You have to be the one to look inside and say, you know what? The only way I'm going to make it through this process and climb this mountain is I've got to overcome the fact that there are some people that may be negative. There are some people that aren't ready for this, to join, to embrace this concept of health, wellness, financial freedom. They're just not ready yet. That's okay. They're not ready, but you're ready. So if you're ready, then let's keep going through the process, keep climbing the mountain, all right, to get to the top, all right? So everyone has a beginning, everybody, all right? So you're talking to people, you're going through the experience, you might get frustrated, like Trisha calls me up recently, says, Dave, what can we do, to help discourage people, not to help, they are discouraged. What can we help? How can we help people that are discouraged? All right. And basically, we try to bring them all together, give them a shot of motivation. Let's keep going, but understand at the same time, there are going to be those that just run out of gas, run out of fuel. Okay. It's easier to give birth than raise the dead. All right. Don't get me wrong. That just because someone isn't doing it now, they might change their mind next week, next month, or tomorrow. They might say, you know what? I've refueled my tank. I'm ready to go again. Let's go. Okay. And we as leaders have to be there to help them. All right. So, okay, let's go. Let's keep going. All right. But that's just the way it is. Strength in numbers and law of averages. The more people that you share with, the more people that you talk to, and you start doing it with your downline, the greater chance of your network expanding, of growing. But if people stop talking to people, guess what's going to happen? The process ends. All right. You basically at a dead end road. You can't go any further. So you've got to keep doing it. You got to keep leading by example also to your people. Right. I've got a gentleman, Ralph Ross. He's not with us today because he had to go into town, but he's a new one you should be seeing on these calls. I've got him sponsored recently. So I'm still sponsoring as well after 25 years. Leading by example. That's also part of the process, going through this. All right. So here you are talking to people for yourself. You're talking to people for your people. You're going through the emotional side of this from day to day. You're going through the physical side of it, picking up the phone, making the calls, doing what you've got to do. All right. And again, to me, the emotional side of it is probably the more challenging side, because you never know what's on the other end of the line when you talk to someone. If they're going to be all of a sudden like, I'm so excited, I talked to somebody and they want to join, I'm so excited. Or it might be, I talked to someone, they said no, everyone else said no. It looks like this business doesn't work. And then you're like, that emotion passes on to you. You got to figure out how to turn it around, but that's all part of the process. You embrace it. All right. Now, growing, developing, that's what this is all about at the end of the day. All right. I've said it many, many times. If you want to develop your income, you develop yourself as well. All right. It goes hand in hand. Your pocketbook will grow as you grow. So by reaching out, talking to people, by developing your social skills, meaning that you might be, I'll give you an example. Gabby and I, we had to fix a sink, our kitchen sink over the weekend. I was trying to look for a creative way to basically re-silicone it and put a brace underneath it. All right. Because we got a pretty big sink and heavy stuff gets put in there. And I had this young man come out, and a handyman, he came out. And I was really impressed with the innovative, creative way that he did his job. I thought this is pretty cool. I mean, pretty innovative what you did to do this. And so we're talking, and I've got him. You might even be seeing him on these calls. I didn't pass up the opportunity to talk to him about For Life and network marketing. That's part of the process. So if you need to work on your social skills, talk to people. Don't be afraid. Guy comes out to my house to do something, he's going to learn about For Life. All right. And even our kids' friends, when they come over, I talk to them about For Life. It's just who I am. That's part of this process of growing and developing. And you never, ever, ever know that person that you're talking to, that you're planting that seed with. You don't know if they'll be a platinum in the future. because everyone that is a platinum was talked to by somebody. Somebody talked to them, and they had a beginning, and they went through the process to get to the top. Whether you're a gold, silver, bronze, presidential, whatever you are, you went through the process to get there. So just keep on going through that process. Back to basics. All right. So let's talk about that for a quick minute. I'm going to open it up. Back to basics. If you ever feel frustrated, it's like, man, okay, why aren't things growing? What's going on? All right. Go back to the basics. What was it in the very, very beginning that you started doing that got you that first person signed up, or got you to builder, got you the builder bonus, got you to diamond, whatever it was? All right. Go back and do that same thing over again. I do that. Even though I've climbed to the top of the mountain many times with my leaders, I go back down, grab some more, and climb with them. And then go back down, grab some more, and the day will come where I'll probably stop climbing the mountain. You know, I'm 62, I'll be 63 in a couple months. Maybe I do this until I'm 70, 75. You know, it's who we are. You know, so, you know, once it's in your blood and once you're a networker and you enjoy the process. And for me now, the process really isn't about me. It's about how many people I can help through this process. And I take a lot of joy and even pride in being able to say, you know, I climbed the mountain with Claudia. I climbed it with Anderson. I climbed it with all of you. All right. Who are here today, with Trisha and anybody that's part of the team. All right. That's where I get my joy from, is watching others go through this process. And by the way, it takes time. All right. Anderson's been 3 years so far. Okay. And all of a sudden now things are starting to really kick into gear. All right. That's what happens. Okay. Some it's quicker, some it's later. It's different for everybody. Remember, law of averages. You could talk to 10 people this week and they all say no. And you talk to 10 people next week and they all say yes. It's different constantly, but you actually can increase or improve the averages by getting better. All right. Meaning that you're identifying, and that's part of the process, again, growing and developing. So when you do talk to a prospect and they start hitting you with questions or they throw something out at you, all of a sudden you're like, I got an answer for that one. I got an answer for that one. I got an answer for that one. Well, why do you have the answers? You have the answers because you've been going through the process and learning and growing and developing. And that's why I made the comment earlier about Anderson with this wonderful networker that he got from another company. The reason that he's got her, now got her going is because all of that development over 3 years, he's been able to basically, use to get her into for life. Whereas if it was his first month in the business, that probably wouldn't have happened. He would have highly depended on me. All right. Now, Anderson's depending on himself, not on me, to do the work. You see? So that's the process. All right. So whatever your goal is, whether it's, getting to builder or getting to platinum, all right, there will be a process. And I hope that you all embrace it. There's an emotional side to it. There's a physical side to it, doing the work. But at the end of the day, I'll say this. If you think about it, it really is simple. All right. What's there to be afraid of? Just because someone's not ready and they say no. If you talk to them even on the streets, somebody you just met, a new relationship you started, you met him at church, maybe it's the person who delivered your mail or somebody you met at the store, In fact, yesterday, quick story. So I take Odin, all right, to the grocery store. He's got a service vest, all right? Odin, come. No, he wants to go somewhere else. So Odin, I take him to the grocery store, and he's a beautiful dog. He gets a lot of attention. And all of a sudden I look over and this guy's, it looks like he's filming Odin, right? We're standing at the checkout counter where there's a line of people, and I just bought some food. And I look at him and I'm like, what are you doing? And he says, I'm FaceTiming my wife. I want her to see your dog. So he's FaceTiming his wife, and he heard me say Odin's name. He goes, Odin, Odin. So he's calling my dog. I mean, That's a guy that I would have actually liked to have gotten and talked to. But by the time I got checked out, the reason was because he just had this personality. You could just tell he was talking to the cashier. He says he's going to go home and they're going to watch a movie. They're going to watch Rocky. I remember he goes, yeah, we're going to go to my friend's house. My wife and I, we're going to watch Rocky with them. He's telling this to the cashier. So he's social. That's a guy. But by the time I got checked out and out the parking lot, he was gone. So, but the point is this, use your social skills. All right. Develop your social skills. Don't be afraid to talk to people. The process really is simple, but there is an emotional where it takes side to it, where it takes mental toughness. The physical part of it, just picking up the phone, it's really not that hard. I see people out doing, like the guy that did our sink. That's physical work, man. Getting under there, drilling holes and putting braces in and all that. I'm thinking, oh man, my neck would be killing me. All right. So embrace the process. I hope I've been able to share something with you guys today to inspire, motivate you to just another day. Keep going, keep growing. All right. Get out there, make that call, talk to somebody. All right. Every day that we do this, the network grows, the For Life family grows, and you grow as a networker. So does anybody have any questions, any comments, anything they want to share? Maybe you've got a story. All right. This process that you've been going through. And it doesn't matter, whatever it is, if it's a frustration, if it's something that happened, if anybody wants to share a story. Anybody have any stories from over the weekend? Anybody you talked to? Anybody?
Hey, Dave, it's me, Sonia.
Hey, Sonia.
How you doing? You know, I try to make it a point to really be in the moment. And especially when we're out and about, people are talking and they're saying stuff to us. And if we listen carefully, like I went to a 50th birthday party yesterday, and there's a lot of older folks there. And a lot of them, I'm like, hey, how you doing? How's it been? Well, it's hard to get up out of my chair now. And, but I'm still trying to pull through. I go, do you take anything? Do you take any vitamins? I go, I'm the vitamin girl. I can help you with that. You guys got to be that expert. You got to be out there saying, hey, I'm the one you need to call because I can help you. And I hope everybody's encouraged. I tell like people that I put in the business, I tell them, you know what, your people are out there. Somebody found me. You're going to find that one just like you that is out there, and it takes time. And don't be discouraged because God already has a plan, and the plan he put in your mind that you were going to be an international diamond, wherever level you want to be, platinum, you're going to do it. You're going to achieve this. And it's just a matter of tenacity. Stay in it, stay engaged, know that, you know what? So what if they say, hey, there she goes, there she comes again, she's going to talk about her vitamins. I don't care if they say that about me anymore, because I want them to know that, yeah, I am the vitamin girl. So hope that helps anybody out there.
Nice. Being present is so important. There's a lot of missed opportunities because, we had an opportunity to plant a seed with someone. And
Right.
understand something. Even when you plant a seed, you may not be the one that gets to harvest that seed. That's what's called critical mass, by the way. Critical mass is created when momentum takes off and it's unstoppable, the growth, because enough seeds have been planted, enough people have heard about it, that all of a sudden it takes on a life of its own. I'm curious, if you've heard of this company, raise your hand. Herbalife. Amway. How is it that because those companies went through critical mass. So many seeds got planted that eventually people got to harvest those seeds. But you know what's interesting? This happens in waves, okay? The first wave are the front line pioneers. They're the ones literally going out to battle, kind of like a D-Day, all right? The boat, the door opens up, you're stepping out, and there's all of a sudden these negative people with their machine guns. Bah, 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 bah. I mean, I hate that to use that analogy because D-Day is it was a very sad day, but triumphant in the end. And that's kind of like networking, I guess, is that the front line pioneers, most of them get killed off. You know how many people survived Amway the first 10 years? One. Anybody know who that is? He passed away a couple years ago. Dexter Yeager. Dexter Yeager, by the way, his income was over $1 million a month. Imagine that, $1 million a month eventually with Amway. All right. The point is this, is that those frontline pioneers, they do plant seeds, but many of them get killed off. And then the second wave comes along and a third wave. And usually it's like the fourth wave of people that take advantage of the first three waves, because enough seeds have been planted, enough people start hearing about it. It's like, you know what? I should probably get involved because it seems like everyone's doing it now. And that's just the way the nature of this process is. That's part of the process, so here we are now. We've been through a few waves with For Life. If you're just getting started, you're part of a new wave, so let's keep going, and the nice thing about it is as time goes on, you're going to find yourself on top of a wave where you get to ride the wave. But it takes work in the beginning to get to that point. So anybody else want to share anything before we close out today?
Dave, Gabby has something to say, it looks like.
All right, well, we're going to pass it to Gabriella Daughtrey to finish us up for the day, sweetie. You got to unmute yourself there.
Thank
There we
you,
are.
David Daughtrey. Good morning, everybody. I was just thinking about you asking about a story, and on Thursday we had a church activity where we were given instruction from one of the members on how to decorate cookies. It was a fun class because she's actually a professional cookie decorator, and you know me, I love decorating. I mean, if you come to my house right now, out in our side there, Dave has all my pans that I used when the kids were little, and I used to always make cakes. I used to make birthday cakes. I used to be the one they would come to for Little League, and at the end of the season, I was like, everyone wanted me to make their cake with their picture on it. Anyway, I am the cake and cookie person. And anyway, one of my friends after class comes up to me. Her name is Becky, and she goes, I just got out of the hospital. And I'm like, and you came here? She goes, yes, I've been in the hospital all day because of a migraine. And I'm like, is it food allergy migraine or is it hormonal? She's like, it's hormonal. And I said, I got something for you. Obviously I use Belvie for hormonal headaches, and it's what we women have when it's that time of the month or whatever. But on Sunday, I took her more information on the product, and she's really excited to try it. And I do believe, I told her, give it 90 days. Okay, you always have to let the customer know not to expect results tomorrow, not to expect results next week. Educate them and say, this may take 90 days for it to kick in because all of our immune systems are different. Obviously, I know for a fact that our product will work because it works for me. It even works for Dave. Belvie was designed for both men and women, by the way, if you did not know that.
Works great for a headache.
Yes, especially if you take a painkiller, like you have a headache and it does not go away, take Belvie and you will be amazed. Men, women, we both need Belvie. And it is an amazing product. It was developed by Dr. Townsend. He is on the medical advisory board of the company. And he designed this amazing product. I mean, I would probably pick it for life if they ever took that product away, because it is a really, really amazing product. I mean, I can't really tell you everything it does for women. I maybe one day we'll have Dr. Townsend on to explain this product, because, it is a really good product. And actually it was designed after Bianca Lisenby's sister passed away from breast cancer. She wanted something that would basically give us a targeted product for breast and uterine tissue, something that would help us women, and the side effects are positive as far as actually helping headaches as well. So with that, I've gained a new prospect and hopefully a client, because she has also done network marketing in the past. And right now, her son passed away from a car accident a couple years ago. Unfortunately, he was only 19, and it was a freak accident. And we don't know why things happen like this, but you know, she's still grieving over stuff like that, her and her husband. So with that, I also want to mention that in the US right now, we still have time. We get free for life sign up and my shop shipping this month. Okay. So if you live in the US, that's what is offered still. So we still have a few days left of that. We have the Great Escape Points incentive. You still have, I think you still have time to make it to go to Alaska. And the double builder bonus. Maybe, sweetie, you can explain that a little bit more.
Yeah, everyone I think here is familiar with the builder bonus, whether it's level 1, 2, or 3. This month, if you're a first-time achiever, in other words, whether it's level 1, level 2, level 3, if it's your first time achieving that level, For Life will pay double. So rather than 50, for level 1, $50, level 2, $200, level 3, $800, it's going to be $100 level 1, $400 level 2, and $1,600 level 3. But today's the 20th, so you have to be on loyalty to be in the builder bonus. So make sure you get your loyalty order in by today.
And one last thing is, for those of you that have inactive affiliates, send them a link to the free sign up. I have a few that have become inactive, and this is a great time to get them activated again and just let them know, hey, get that loyalty order, pick out a few products, you get free shipping, free sign up. Who doesn't want to save a little, right? I'm all for that. This is a great way to reactivate those people that have become inactive for whatever reason. I know times are hard. Believe me, we were talking about eggs yesterday, Dave and I. He went to buy some groceries, and I told him, ooh, that place over there, Food for Less, they have the best price on eggs also. So get me a jumbo.
That's where I met the guy that was FaceTiming Odin.
Yes, eggs, I'm telling you, 18 eggs runs you about $18 right now. And we do have a couple chickens, but they only lay 1 to 2 eggs a day, and they're like little stuff. So yes, it's important to, it doesn't matter how much money you make, you do see inflation, okay? And I don't think it's going to get any better. It's going to get worse. So here in the US, it's hitting us pretty hard. And I just don't understand. You do need 2 sources of income. Okay. You do need, your wife to work, your husband to work, your kids to work. Okay. So you do need a side hustle. And even if you're working on your side hustle after work, that's fine. And that's why it's so important to do your follow-ups. Follow-ups are basically so important. That's why I need to follow up with Becky. So I need to sit down with her and have lunch or something, because I'd like to, maybe in a couple of weeks, give her time to take the product so she can feel the effects. But that's my story, and we love and appreciate all of you. Thank you for your time. And I know your time is valuable.
Thank you,
So
Gabby.
it's great to see your faces as well. So
Thanks,
with
Gabby.
that, let's, it's Monday, let's get out there and, share our products. Thank you. Back to you.
Guys, one other quick announcement that was just announced today, this morning. Nathan came on, if you don't follow Nathan on his USA page, but starting tomorrow in the USA, Tuesday through Friday, we've got BOGO week. Every day, they're going to have a new product product, buy the product, get a free product between Tuesday and Friday this week. And one of the things, this is kind of cool, I believe, that they've never done before. If you buy the whole package of all Monday through Friday, of the 4 items and the 4 free items, For Life is going to donate a bag of Fortify. And I think I don't know if they've ever done that on a BOGO week. So, and you know my story, I love Fortify. It's one of my favorite programs that we do here in For Life. But that starts tomorrow, midnight tonight, Mountain Time. Nathan will be on live announcing what the first product is. So, again, send it through my shop. It's going to be free shipping and free enrollment. So again, a perfect opportunity this week to really get those folks that are looking at us and saying, hey, here's the perfect, buy this BOGO, free shipping, free enrollment, and you've got a new customer and a new partner on your business. So thanks everybody for joining. Also, don't forget the meetings coming up through the rest of the week. Tomorrow, Dr. Ogina's Health Talk. Look at Dave's calendar. I think you guys all know Dave Daughtrey has a great calendar with every meeting on there with the direct link. You just click on it, and it'll take you to these meetings. I was on Dr. Ogina's business presentation on Saturday, and it was Dr. Ogina, dynamic presentation. I'd invited some folks from Kenya on Saturday, and I jumped on there Saturday. It was dynamic. Dr. Ogina gives one of the best business opportunity presentations I know, so it's a perfect opportunity to have a guest to want to look at the opportunity side. Thank you, Dr. Ogina, for all you do. But guys, if there's not any other questions, let's
Michael,
go ahead.
I want to
Dave,
jump in.
Okay, Claudia.
I want to jump in. We have tomorrow's health talk topic. So it is diabetic neuropathy. So bring your guests. Everybody's welcome. It's going to be great. So diabetic neuropathy, there's so much of this around the world. And before we open to say hi, Mike, welcome new faces, Mr. Raul Patino from Miami. We haven't seen you around here, so it's good to see you. Lillian with a double L, I'm not sure, but if you are new, welcome. And Jesus G, I also think, I don't recognize him. It may be just that they have jumped in a few times. Mr. Raul, I think it's your first time, so welcome to you, sir. And don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, but subscribe because we want to get to 1,000 people fast. And there's lots of older trainings, and a lot of people tell me, when are you going to put this one? But we just want you to also kind of go through the old ones first. English and Spanish are now separated. I think I was able to do that. And so make sure that you subscribe, like, share with others so we can get the noise that we have Mentor Mondays, Tuesday trainings, and we also have some business opportunities in there. Some are Dave's, some are Gabby's, and some are other leaders, but mostly Dave and Gabby.
Yeah.
And that's
Can you please mention also Convention for Colombia? If you plan on going and haven't signed up, do so, because they do have a limited amount of, I guess, space. I'm not sure. I mean, it's what happened to us in Mexico, remember? So just make sure that if you're planning on going to the convention in Colombia, that you go and make reservations at the hotel and buy your ticket as soon as possible, because they're not, once they run out, they run out.
It's going to be a really good one. I have everything now booked. Tickets are great. Hotels, there's like 7 options with great prices. And right now they have a special. If you want to be part of the, Michael, help me with the foundation. The Foundation for Life, we're going to be building a school. So you have to buy into that because you have to donate some money. So if you want more information, you can connect with me, but it's going to be great because if you've ever wanted to be part of a convention, and as well, sometimes this doesn't happen at the same time. So it happens like in a smaller scale in Utah, but here you get to go in the field, build the school. So it's not like in Utah where we did the blankets and it's like inside the convention center. Here you go out, and the donation money that you're putting in is because they're going to buy the material that they need to build this school for the poor kids in my country, which is Colombia. So I'm very excited about the convention being in Colombia. So for that, I think it's really the best of the deals, which is you get to go to convention and be in the Foundation for Life project. So I have added, go back through all the chats, everybody, before you leave the meeting. And I put the official WhatsApp group that we call it official, but it's the English North America official. I mean, everybody's welcome, everybody from every country, but we promote mostly the meetings that are in the evenings in North America. And the AIM one is where we promote the Mentor Monday. So you can be in both groups. And there's one that it's called admin group. That's the one that you want to be in if you want to help us with hosting, co-hosting, and being behind the scenes. And I also added the YouTube channel. So can you please go back to the link so I don't have, because it doesn't let me copy paste sometimes. Oh, thank you, JT. It worked. Yeah, kudos to JT. I actually have I want to honor JT here in front of Dave and Gabby and the team, because JT has been now a little bit of an angel behind my back, because he's actually checking a lot on my stuff. So meaning he goes into the calendar, makes sure that he's reminding me, is the Kenya happening, so that we make sure that it's accurate what we have in the calendar with what we have. I still need to talk to Anderson because I need to do a little management on Brazil. But JT, kudos, because it's been great to have, and that's part of what being a team is. So I want to acknowledge that in front of the team. JT, thank you. He's right behind, just checking that things are getting done properly, because sometimes things get done, but you need somebody to get things done and then check, and then another person checks. So thank you, JT in North America. Well, Michael, he's my brother, so he always does that all the time. So thank you so much, Dave and Gabby, for everything, and we love you. Thank you so much. Okay, we can say goodbye to everybody. Let's unblock those microphones. We can say goodbye to the.
Let's all go to lunch.
Yes, lunch or
Well,
supper
good
or
to see
dinner.
everyone.
Or
Might be
supper.
Thank
breakfast
you.
or something.
Awesome meeting.
It's
Have a
breakfast
great
somewhere,
Monday,
right?
everyone.
Have a good
Over
week.
in Kenya, have a great night. Charge your batteries for
Great day,
another day.
guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful time.
Thank you, guys.